Hello everyone and welcome to my week 3 assignment video. So this week we are still discussing social determinants of health, and we are still comparing Colorado with Alaska, just like how we were in the last couple of assignments. But today I'm going to be discussing the lead causes of death between Alaska and Colorado, comparing them to see how similar they are, and then seeing how they compare with the social determinants of health and seeing if there's any underlying implications that might be a determining factor for why they are the lead causes of death. So for this, I researched and went onto the CDC website where they do have lists of the leading causes of deaths in the states. So I'm going to go ahead and put these charts up on the screen so that way you can see them. So we'll start with Colorado. The number one leading cause of death is cancer. The second one is heart disease, and the third one is accidents. It doesn't specify if it's car accidents or just any other kind of accidents, but it is the third cause of death. So the most interesting thing for me is that Alaska also has the exact same order of lead causes of death. So their number one is cancer, number two is heart disease, and number three is accidents. And that is absolutely fascinating to me. And it also does not surprise me at all, because I was talking in my last video about how I felt like Colorado and Alaska were really similar in a lot of ways. So it doesn't surprise me that they have the same lead causes of death. Looking at Alaska though, if you look at number 6, it's the second, if you look at number 6, which is suicide, and then looking at the state rank, it is the second highest state for suicide deaths, which is really interesting to me. But I think that goes right along with mental health in Alaska. I feel like with it being dark, super early there, not a lot of sunshine, that doesn't surprise me in that way. So that's a social determinant of health. I think that would really affect that. But going back to the 3 lead causes of death, so as far as social determinants go, there are lots of people in both Colorado and Alaska that are on Medicare and Medicaid, and if they were to develop cancer, I would have to do more research into what Medicaid and Medicare would cover as far as how to treat cancer or heart disease. But I feel like especially with cancer, maybe Medicaid and Medicare doesn't cover as much of the cost as maybe some of the other insurances would. So that could be a determining factor for that. And same thing goes with heart disease. As far as accidents go, that's a little bit more difficult to relate to social determinants of health. If we're talking about accidents, car accidents specifically, it would depend on things like what kind of accidents. Like if they were drunk driving accidents, maybe we could look at the amount of alcohol that's being consumed in the state, if there's a way to measure that. I guess I would just have to look into the number 3 cause and what kind of accidents that would be involving. But I think overall most of these are all very, very similar. So I also went ahead and looked up a completely different state just to compare and see if a lot of the states are similar in the lead causes of death. So I looked up the lead causes of death for Oklahoma, because I feel like Oklahoma is a lot different as far as income, and income is one of the highest social determinants of health, I believe. Low income creates a lot of issues and can affect a lot of different things. So looking at Oklahoma, with a lower median income, their number 1 lead cause of death is heart disease, and they are actually ranked first in the United States. And then second is cancer, and third is chronic lower respiratory disease, which is also on the other lists as well. But looking at Oklahoma too, if you look at the state ranks, they are a lot higher up on the list. So they rank first, second, fourth, fifth, a couple of those. Whereas if you look at Alaska and Colorado, you're looking at like 43rd, 45th, it's around that area, 49th. And so I think overall, because the states themselves tend to be tend to have more wealthy people that live in there, and there's a higher median income with both Alaska and Colorado. I feel like things like cancer and heart disease, while they are the leading cause of death, they're not nearly as common as some of the poorer states. So I could see how low income would play a factor into that, and same with insurance and access to care and whatnot. Again, I believe those are some of the most influential factors when it comes to how healthy the people are in the state. Thank you so much for watching.